There's something about spring when the world starts to wake up and the flowers that you planted in fall start to bloom. You have the apple trees start blooming out. We have baby chicks being born. It's just something about this time of year where everything wakes up from cold winter and it's like a new awakening of what the coming year will bring. Right now, we all need a little bit of peace and quiet and time to reflect on where we're headed this coming year. Today, we're going to walk you through some things going on in our farm and let you get a little peek inside of the greenhouse. So the last time we were in the greenhouse, we just had little sprouts coming up here and there. I am so excited that I finally have some lavender coming up. I have tried for several years to get that to germinate and I've never been successful until this year. So let me show you these little bitty lavender plants that are coming up. And then I also have some stevia that's coming up. I'm really excited about those. And we are also gonna have tons of basil this year. I have always done Genovese basil. It's my absolute favorite. But this year I did some dark purple opal basil. I did a Thai sweet basil and a holy basil as well. So we are gonna be fully stocked on basil. My tomatoes are looking great right here. And I have a variety of different cherry tomatoes, some slicers and some paste tomatoes so we can make some tomato sauce and salsas and can some things like that. I've got peppercress that'll be great in salads. We've got eggplants and peppers coming up. And I am so excited about this tray right here. I did this one on the 15th, so just a couple of weeks ago now. And my rainbow Swiss chard, our dinosaur kale, our coxcomb flowers, which is new for us this year. And then I have lots more tomatoes coming up too. So these are all looking great. I'm gonna have to thin those out in just a couple of days. And then this weekend, I went ahead and got a jump. You know, I wanna make sure we have a ton of food in the ground this year. So I went ahead and started some squash, zucchini, some of my watermelons. I went ahead and started more lavender and more stevia just because I want to see how these do. And then I went ahead and put some sunflowers in. I never have started these things inside before. I've always just planned direct sown them when it was time. So I'm kind of excited to see how they go and to see if we can just get a little bit of a jump on the season so that we're actually getting more food out of the garden this year. So once I plant these outside though, I'm also going to still put some out in the garden and plant those by seed. So we'll have what's called succession planting. So I'll have some things that'll be ready first, and then within a few weeks later we'll have more coming of that same crop. So if I want to save it, or hopefully it's going to cut down on our grocery bill a whole lot too though, because we'll have a steady stream of food coming in. Now I always plant flowers in our garden. It's great for bringing in pollinators. So I have some cosmos that have already come up and some marigolds, and those marigolds are going to be great for pest control. I'm going to plant them around my tomatoes and my peppers. They're good for companion planting. Now, I have this one tricky little batch here. This silver container right here. These are all some tomatoes that I now have no idea what they are. And the reason is I thought they weren't coming up. So I took and stuck them over here and I was like, oh, nothing's sprouting in these. Let me toss these out. And that's the reason that I actually started these 3 rows of extra tomatoes here. And now all those are coming up too. And I thought, okay, they're not gonna sprout. I left them over here. I did not touch them. I did not water them. And then I keep coming into the greenhouse and every day there's one. And then there's another one. And there's another one sprouting. So now I have a nice random batch of tomatoes right here. I have no idea what they are because once they started not sprouting, I pulled all my little sticks out, tossed them, and just stuck those to the side. Now I have a bunch of random tomatoes. So it's gonna be like an Easter egg hunt. We're gonna plant them anyway. We'll see what comes up where, and apparently we're just gonna have a ton of tomatoes because now, between these tomatoes, the ones that I just planted the other weekend, and the others, I counted 40 tomato plants in this greenhouse. So we may give some of them away. We may sell some of them, but apparently we're gonna have 40 tomato plants started if they all continue going well. I've got my rosemary and mint over there in a pot, and it's doing really well out here in the greenhouse. And so that's really all we've been up to in the greenhouse. I wanted to keep you all posted, give you an update of what's going on out here. And we did some more planting in the raised beds last weekend, more cold crops, so that we could have a good bunch of lettuces, kale, radishes. I also put out some more beets, planted some more carrots. So within 2 months, all those things should be coming out of the garden, and they'll be out of the garden in time to start summer crops going in. So let me know what you all are planting. Have you started anything inside? It's not too late. You can go in and get some tomatoes and peppers started inside, put them by a window to get them to start sprouting. The weather, depending on where you are, it's going to start warming up really well now. We're getting really close to our last frost date of the season. So it's really exciting. It's almost time to get things in the ground and see what we can grow this year. So let me know. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give our video a thumbs up. We would really love it if you would share our video with others too. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel this year. So if you could help us with that, we would really appreciate it. And stay tuned. We've got videos coming out on how to start a new garden area if you haven't done one before. We also are going to be showing you how we built our raised garden beds, because we're building more this weekend as well. So stay tuned. I want you all to see all of that. Thanks so much for joining us on our little journey, and we'll see you next time right here at Cram Farm.